All right, guys, I'm going to cover a couple of different topics in this episode today. The first one being, we did sprints yesterday, and that's what made me think of this. CrossFit, incorrectly in some circles, has the reputation of being dangerous. That is an incorrect statement. Statistically, that has been proven that this is one of the safest ways to work out as far as injuries per times you've done, injuries per hours of CrossFit performed. It is one of the safest ways to work out. I think you avoid overuse injuries because of the variety of what we do, and because we train the body in so many different ways. It makes a body that has healthy tendons, a body that has a healthy cardiovascular system, strong muscles, and it just helps you avoid injuries that way. Injuries are a part of being an active person, and they come. But that is not more so with CrossFit. It is in fact less. But having said that, there is risk in everything we do. Walking down the street, walking your dog, you can step off a curb and twist your ankle. But people see a lot of the stuff we do and, oh, is it the box jumps because you hit your leg on the box? That does happen. Is it rope climbs and you come off the rope too fast and you twist your ankle? That has happened. Is it handstand push-ups or handstand walking? I have not seen very many people injure themselves that way. It has happened, but it has been very rare, and I've been doing this for over 15 years now. So while those injuries have occurred, they are very rare from my experience and from what has been studied at large. The most common one I see, and I told this to some of the classes yesterday, is when we sprint, people will pull their hamstring or pull their groin occasionally. I think it is one because we don't sprint as adults. And so our tendons are not prepared for that kind of max effort. As we get older, this is well studied and proven. Our stride length gets shorter as our life, and as we get older, our stride length gets shorter. And if you don't train that a lot, it will permanently be shorter. And it does get shorter regardless of what you do, but you can very much push that off if you're continuing to train it. But we just don't run fast. There's not a need to, and it's not something we seek out. I think sprinting, though, is so useful, it is still worth the risk occasionally when we do it. Because look at the sprinters in the Olympics. If you want to see a nice looking, a fit body, sprinting, there is nothing better for your legs, for your glutes, for your hamstrings. You want to see some ripped abs, look at the sprinters. It is so good for your abdominals, it's so good for your back muscles. It works all of that. And the intense nature of it causes the same kind of hormonal effect on the body that a lot of our CrossFit workouts do, which just makes you a fitter, leaner individual. But what I have learned from having done this for a long time is normally in class, we will warm up 10 to 20 minutes before the workout. Before I'm going to have you run fast, we are going to warm up for 30 to 40 minutes. That doesn't mean it's all just warm up. But like yesterday, I am going to get you running gradually faster and faster with breaks in between, with rests, to get those tendons, which take longer to warm up than the muscles, a lot of time to loosen up and get prepared for these max efforts. Back in the day, Jason and I were talking about this yesterday. He and I and Janelle and Stacy would go to the track at Trinity and do a lot of sprint cycles. I think it's the funnest way to run, in my personal opinion. Again, I think it's very good for you. But we would warm up a lot back then too before we did this. So yesterday, the fact that we did the sprints at the very end, that's always how we're going to do sprints, because you will see that is the most common injury I see. And to avoid it, I need to get you running over and over and over and actually get you pretty tired, and then allow you to recuperate a little bit, but you're still sweating, your body is still very loose, and then we'll go into the sprinting. And so I think a lot of people are not aware of that and haven't thought of it. They think of all the other stuff we do, and that's where I'm going to get injured. But it's the one you need to be aware of. And again, it's not an injury you're going to need to have surgery for. It's not an injury that's that big a deal. But pulled hamstrings or groins are annoying, and they can linger for a while. And so I do my best to help you guys avoid them when we do that. The other thing I was going to address, somebody was asking me, what are the best days to come to class? And there is no best. There is one schedule to come to class where you are going to get some redundancies. So when I program, I'm programming the week starts on Monday and it ends on Sunday. And we do have class 7 days a week, which is why this situation will occur. If we naturally had Sunday off, this would not happen, and a lot of gyms do have Sunday off, so it allows me to avoid this. But because people have different schedules, your week may not start on Monday and end on Sunday. You might start working out on Friday and then work out through Monday. In general, though, you guys know Monday's our designated strength day at King William District CrossFit. We're going to do a short Metcon and then our strength focus day. Tuesdays and Thursdays are where I throw in more of those training EMOMs or the longer body weight workouts where you have more running and rowing and biking, more air squats and sit-ups and push-ups, and then where I throw in those training EMOMs. I do that because then Wednesday and Friday are our more classic CrossFit-y type workouts days, and because I want you to be able to come every day of the week if you want to. I know you can come every day, and even if you're sore on Tuesday after Monday, you can do Tuesday's workout. And like for everybody that was sore from Wednesday and we did sprints yesterday, or did running yesterday ending with sprints, even if you're sore, you can go in and you can do those runs. Maybe you're not at your fastest, fine, that doesn't matter. You can still train that effectively, even if you're sore from Wednesday's workout. So I would say the ideal is you're going to come Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And then if you're a 4-day-a-weeker, you're going to plug in Tuesday, Thursday, or Saturday into that Monday, Wednesday, Friday routine. And if you're a 5-day-a-weeker, you're going to plug in 2 of those and take 1 of those off. You're going to take off Tuesday or Thursday or Saturday. The exception being is because we have Sunday, and I know for a lot of you guys it's essential to get in that Sunday workout, that's kind of the outlier day, and that is our least attended day. Our least attended day during the week is Thursday, because I know it is the most common day people take off. It is the most common day I take off. I work out Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I'm kind of beat up. I take off Thursday, and I try and work out Friday and Saturday, unless my schedule requires something else. But because Sunday is the least attended day, and I tend to throw in on the weekend whatever I think we've missed that week, how it fits into the puzzle. And you guys know tomorrow is a heavier day because I think we needed another one. That's where I throw in a lot of the partner workouts. Lately, it's been hero workouts on Sunday. Hero or named workouts on Sunday. If you come to class Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, that 4-day split schedule, you are going to see some redundancies potentially between what you did on Sunday and what you're going to do coming into the next week on Monday or Tuesday. And that's where I can tell when people tell me, we just did kettlebell swings, or I've done toes to bar 2 days in a row. I know you came Sunday and then are coming Monday. So that is not an accident on my part. That is me playing the numbers game of, on a given Sunday, we have between 20 and 40 people in class. Most of the time during the week, we have between 70 and 90 people come to class. So because it is the fewest people on that day, even though there's a bunch of people that do come, when things don't fit together exactly right as I'm programming and I think we need something in the next week, I may end up plugging it in on Monday, even though you did some of that movement on Sunday. So that is not an accident. No, I didn't realize we did that. I can tell by you making that comment what days you've come to class, because I know what schedule will allow for you possibly seeing the same move. Yeah, we did sit-ups on Sunday, and then we're actually doing sit-ups as part of the, short Metcon on Monday that we're going to do before we lift. So my point with all that being, I view the week starting on Monday and ending on Sunday. And so I program each week accordingly that way. And if you're coming both Saturday and Sunday, your workout schedule is going to be a little wonky. It's still going to work out fine. And I rather you do that schedule than not come to class. So please do it. But I just wanted to clarify that that's kind of on purpose, or it's at least something I am aware of and know that, like, I didn't realize we were going to do pull-ups 2 days in a row. I did know that. And you're one of the minority that is going to come on those days back to back, and that's going to happen. The last thing I'll cover, I was asked an interesting question yesterday. The guy asked me if you could wave a magic wand in regards to the gym and the business and everything. Wave a magic wand and have one thing happen. What would it be? And I had to think for a minute, and he said my answer was not what he expected. And 2 things came to mind. One, somewhat trivial. The other, something I consider more important, but I wanted to bring it up here. So the trivial one is, If I could have an unlimited variety of equipment by maybe waving a magic wand, that would be a lot of fun. There are essential movements we need to do as part of being fit. You need to squat every week. You need to hip hinge every week. You need to press overhead every week. You need to hang off the bar every week. But one of the phrases in the 100 Words of Fitness with CrossFit is regularly learn and play new sports. The spirit of that being, we should be learning new athletic activities. We need to apply our fitness to new things. It is great for your brain. It is great for your athleticism. It keeps you young, and it's just fun. And that's why even like little things like the hip thrust we started doing the last couple months and we've been doing again, the calf raises we did at the end of yesterday's workout. There's certain things that I don't think are important enough to do all the time, or something that's going to become part of the bedrock of what we do in class. But because it's new, it has value. And because of that, if I could have an unlimited supply of equipment, like suddenly we had 10 yokes and we could do yoke carries in the gym, I have nowhere to put 10 yokes. I would not have any place for them, and we wouldn't use them often enough to be worth it. But that kind of stuff would be fun. So that would be one, just because it would allow me to throw in new things. We don't need it. I could make the best athlete in the world with what we have. We are in no way constrained. I just like that variety and providing it for you guys. The other one would be, if I could wave a magic wand and have everybody who is in the gym, if they have a significant other, have them in the gym, I would do that too. Because I think it is of critical importance that if there is someone else going through life with you, if you're working on your fitness, if you're working on being healthy, and you prioritize this and you carve out time out of your day for it, and you're pushing hard into it and putting emotional deposits into this, if your significant other is not, I find that is always problematic for a relationship. It may be a problem that you can deal with. It's not that big a deal. I have often seen it also become a big deal. There is very easily resentment on both sides for different reasons because of that. Having said that, CrossFit isn't everybody's cup of tea. So obviously, if you're working out one way and your significant other, spouse, partner is just a meathead and they like to lift, great. If they like to do triathlons, great. If they're a swimmer, great. If they like to do Pilates, fantastic. They're working on their fitness too, and you guys can both share that and you both understand each other. This is something I'm devoting time and effort to for the purpose of being more fit. So that is still fine. But I think it's great when both people are doing CrossFit, you by nature understand each other. You're not as annoyed when you're talking about your workout for the day. You understand when you're having a really good day because you got a PR, or you're a little down because you had a rougher workout that day. You understand each other, and it can be something that is bonding. When you don't have that, it can, when I see somebody that doesn't work out at all and their partner does CrossFit, I'm just going to say that often becomes an issue in relationships. And I don't want that for you guys. I think you'll work out more. I think you'll do it longer. And I think you'll be happier when both of you are doing this, which is why if I could wave a magic wand, that would be the one thing I would do. And the person I was talking to about this found it interesting because they're like, you didn't say you would make more money or suddenly have 200 more members. And while, yeah, sure, I'd like to grow the gym, and more money equals more freedom and security in life, so that would be great. I have a good life, and the gym is going great. Janelle and I are as happy as we could be. I don't want more of what I have. I just want to have more of it for longer. So this is a great life, and continuing on. The one thing I think about, guys, is I want to provide to you guys the absolute best service I can. And part of that is, I know from experience that if your significant other is doing this with you, it is just a better experience for both of you in life, and you're going to be more fit. And so that is why that would be what I would wave my magic wand and do. All right, guys, that's it for this one. Next time, I'm going to go over the 4 pillars of a CrossFit gym. This is something I talked about all the way back in the very first Devil's Details. The 4 pillars that I think hold up a CrossFit gym, one of them being community, which is something I've done a couple of episodes on. But I have mentioned that a few times, and somebody else brought up to me, hey, could you kind of revisit those 4 pillars that you'd mentioned about what is the most important thing that makes a CrossFit gym a good place to be and that is successful? Right on. Talk to you later.